I think there's been unfortunately a lot of reliance on the nostalgia circuit.
Do you follow today's music a lot?
I try and kind of know what's there or thereabouts, but I don't always have the chance to know every detail of everything.
But you roughly know what's going on. So
kind of. A lot of groups with toms and shouting.
Yeah. Is there, you think, for today maybe, yeah, is there a role maybe that Wire could still play in a sort of reinvented?
Well, I think that, I mean, I don't know. I think it's for others to say. That certainly in the English-speaking world, that's what people think. They see Wire as being a contemporary band. They don't see it as being, a band that has a history, has done lots of things in the past, but is producing material which is totally of now. And that's been the kind of reception of it, and that's the aim. You can say, but it's just all words. You can say it, and still, someone can think you just sound like a bunch of old gits. It's somebody else's interpretation, not your own.
But if you look maybe at people of your generation who are also starting at the same point, where they got lost somewhere along the line.
I think there's been unfortunately a lot of reliance on the nostalgia circuit. And yes, okay, if you were a band, say in the 70s or the early 80s or something like that, and you haven't been around for a few years, somebody comes along and says you can do a tour and you can get paid a colossal amount of money to go around and just play the old records. It's like if you'd just been working a regular job or be in other bands that weren't as successful, that would be very hard to resist, I think. But the problem is that you kind of kill it off.
Did it ever happen to Wire?
We did a very small amount of that, but kind of realised after very quickly that we didn't really want to do that. So we never did the sort of classic album tour, no.
But if you look at Wire's time span, there's certain periods where you did maybe focus on other things. Was it, in hindsight, important to have these off periods?
Yes and no. I think, I think when we finally get to the book, I think more kind of truth will be revealed about what actually happened at various points, and some of the things were certainly not useful to the development of the band. From a bigger picture, maybe it all worked out okay. I don't know. I mean, we're still touring. We're still selling. This is the fastest selling Wire record for God knows how long. So we must be doing something right. On some level, even if sales aren't necessarily the answer to everything.
But you're writing a book about the career of Wire?
No, I'm not writing a book, but the person who wrote the book on Pink Flag, Wilson Neat, is hopefully compiling, as we go, as we look at various things, something that will turn out to be a good book about Wire, as opposed to a rubbish book about Wire.
And is there already a sort of time frame for that, at the time point? Is it hard to say already?
No, it's a bit hard to say, because I think there still has to be a publisher that will say, yeah, they want that, as opposed to something written by a kind of a really cheap, exploiting book, because it would have to be pretty serious, but it would also be very, very honest,
But it's for you as a member of it, and maybe speaking for the other members, it's important maybe to get a story out. And
I think the story has been, there's always, well, to quote Churchill, history is written by the victors, and we are very unlikely victors of history, but so I think we get the chance to tell our story. And usually, I mean, there was a fantastic article in the Times, I think Thursday or Friday before the album came out. It was a really big piece for like a newspaper. It was like a page and a half, and it was kind of a review, but it was kind of a history written by someone who'd never spoken to us and had never actually read, obviously, anything about the band, and everything in it was wrong, but it was absolutely right. The intent of it was perfect. It's like, but every detail was wrong. But somehow it captured the essence of something that was it was really funny, and really kind of it was kind of inspiring. I mean, everybody just burst out laughing at it, because it was just a kind of absurd piece. But there was something that was so fantastically accurate about it as well.
But is it then maybe because of that for you important, maybe that some people don't misconceive the real story, or maybe?
Yeah, I think people. I mean, there are just so much stories around the band, and most of which aren't true.
So there has to be something that comes from the source. Maybe.
Yeah, something that comes from the source that says, well, that's how it is, and sometimes the truth is even stranger than the fiction, you know.
All right. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers.